Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Pinoy Abroad. So today, like I promised, I would make a comparison video of the states that I lived into, except for Colorado. I'm still going to be comparing Colorado with the other states that I lived into, even though I did not live there personally. But with the help of some of the references, the websites, I was able to gather some enough information for you guys. I know that 1 week is not enough to explore a state, guys, so forgive me, but I still want to proceed with this video. And you know, I'm not the type of person that really relies into like the research on internet. I don't Google stuff. I base my opinion off of my experience, guys, because articles and the internet, guys, they sometimes can be misleading also. You know, when you do your own research, you'll find out that, you know, when you can't really tell much about a state, a place, until you personally live in there. And that's basically why I kind of hesitant to review stuff that I have no personal experience with. So, but today, like I said, with the help of some of my references, hopefully I'll be able to give you as accurate information as possible. So if you're new to my channel, guys, please hit the subscribe button so I can always notify you anytime. And also don't forget to share and give this video a like. So without further ado, we're gonna go start with the comparisons. So I have 5 criterias before moving into a new place, guys. Not to say that I'm still going to be wanting to move. I'm pretty settled here in Minnesota. I love the place. I love the state. But this is for you guys. First, number 1, safety. Being trained as a nurse, guys, we were always taught that safety is always first. So before moving into a new place, when I was in Chicago, I looked into places here in Minnesota. I made sure that that place is safe. The crime rate is low. So we'll be talking about crime rate. We're going to be talking about road safety. Of course, you don't want too many hazards on the roads. Hazards like snow, rocky roads, steep roads, and stuff like that. Weather also we're going to be talking about here under safety. Cost of living. Cost of living is also very important because you want to make sure that when you move to a new state, you can save up money and you can afford the cost of living. That is very important. And then also we're going to be talking about taxes there on the cost of living. And then my third one is quality of life, because you want to make sure that you're happy where you live. You want to make sure that you can enjoy the life in that particular place where you're going to be moving into. And then 5th or 4th on the list is healthcare system. Now the question is, how accessible is the healthcare in that state? Every state differs, guys. Every state treats healthcare differently. So is it accessible? Is it costly? Is it expensive? Is it cheap? Is the quality of healthcare they provide you over there excellent? Or is it just, we don't know. So we're gonna make sure that they have the best quality healthcare in that place where we're moving into. And then last but not the least, leisure, because obviously you want to enjoy life. You want to make sure that there's places that you can enjoy. You can go visit and enjoy maybe biking and, you know, enjoy stuff with your family and, you know, those kind of things. So let's start with safety, guys. Colorado, Minnesota, and Illinois. So when it comes to safety, guys, the crime rate in Colorado overall as a state is 3.81, which means the chance of becoming a victim of a crime is 1 out of 263. And that is kind of like below the median average in the whole United States. So it's still pretty safe to live in Colorado. Now, it depends on what particular place in Colorado you live. There's 2 major cities in Colorado, and that is Denver and also Colorado Springs. I did not look into details as far as how's the crime rate in Colorado Springs versus the crime rate in Denver. Overall state, it's fairly low. So going to Minnesota, you have 2 major cities here, St. Paul and Minneapolis. The overall crime rate in the state is 2.36, which is even lower than the crime rate in Colorado, which means to be a victim of a violent crime, you have 1 out of 423. just to share some experience, guys, I really appreciate the neighbors here. I lived in several towns here in Minnesota. One was in Roseville, one was in Blaine, and then here in the current town, guys, I've lost my laptop 3 times, guys, and they still managed to bring it back to me and locate where I live, and I really appreciate these people, guys. I lost my phone, the same thing happened. I lost my camera, the same thing happened. They could have took it, you know, people could have taken it and sold it or something, but people took time. They were really nice. There was also one time that there was a heavy storm, a snowstorm during the time, and I was shoveling snow around my car, and there was this girl, she was also shoveling around her car, and she saw me shoveling. She literally left her shovel and helped me out shovel around my car. I feel like it should have been the other way. I should be helping her as a gentleman, but you know, guys, people here are really nice. There's this thing they call Minnesota nice, and I feel like that really exists. People say that that's a fake nice, but you know, I get it. People can be fake everywhere. So Chicago crime rate is 4.7, which is a little bit above the national median, which is 4. To be a victim of crime here is 1 out of 246. So there you go, guys, for safety. Road safety now. We're talking about road safety. Fatal motor vehicle accidents in Colorado. This is based on 2019, guys, because this is the most current that we could ever get from Neighborhood Scout. Link is down in the description box, so if you want to make sure, you can just check out those websites. So road safety, fatal motor vehicle accident is 11.1 out of 100,000 in Colorado. In Minnesota, it's 8.0 out of 100,000, so which is still pretty low than Colorado. And in Illinois, it's 9.1 out of 100,000. So that's the rate, and looks like the clear winner here is Minnesota, and then the second is Illinois. Among the 3, obviously Colorado's ranking the worst here when it comes to road safety, even though when I was in Colorado, they have really nice roads there, very organized there. I just can't imagine how like it's so unsafe there. Well, I guess if you haven't really lived in the place, you can't really tell. Now hazards, guys, steep roads and stuff like that, icy roads, rocky roads, you know, sometimes there are animals on the street. Those can cause some accidents and stuff. So also the weather, all these 3 states snows a lot, guys, especially in Colorado. The thing is, in Colorado, it snows the next 2 days, it's gone, except when you live in the mountains. But a lot of people in Colorado live down in the lower areas, in the major cities, Denver and Colorado Springs. In Minnesota, however, it's different, guys, because the snow here, when it snows during the winter, it piles up and it piles up, piles up and piles up and piles up and piles up, and it doesn't melt until like it gets warmer in April. So the snow here in the winter doesn't come and go. It just usually piles up and it gets icy on the streets. Even the slightest snow here can cause a lot of road issues, a lot of accidents. So I would say, personally, guys, it's scary to live here in terms of like weather conditions and stuff, because of the ice and all that kind of thing. In Illinois, it does the same thing too. It ices up a little bit there too, because it gets fairly cold there too. But the good thing is, the people there shovel their snow. After a day or 2, snow's gone on the roads. So it's, I think I feel like safe to drive there during the winter compared to driving here in Minnesota. We go now to the cost of living, guys. So cost of living, which is probably what you've been waiting for, I guess. Overall cost of living index score of Colorado is 127.8, which is higher than the average in the US. The average is 100, okay? So 100, and then anything above 100 is higher than average. For the cost of living in Minnesota, it's 105, which is slightly higher, guys. And then for Illinois, it's 107.4, also slightly higher. So obviously, the more expensive state here is Colorado. When it comes to median prices for homes, guys, The median price for homes in Colorado is $534,100, which is, I think, is way so much higher. In Minnesota, it's $330,700, which is, I think, is fair enough. And then in Illinois, it's $291,200. That's a little cheap there, guys. So obviously, the cost of living, especially homes, talking about homes in Colorado, are very expensive. And then we talk about the tax burden, guys. What's the tax burden? So if you didn't watch my video previously, guys, I talk about taxes. I will link it down below in the description box also. So what that means, the combination of the income state tax, the combination of sales tax and other tax, cities taxes and all that stuff, that's your tax burden. So the tax burden in Colorado is 9.4%. However, in Minnesota, it's 9.99%, which I was kind of surprised when I was doing that research, because I thought that Minnesota was way lower compared to Colorado, but it turns out tax burden wise, Minnesota is slightly higher. So the tax burden in Illinois is 9.52%, but living in Illinois, guys, I feel like it's more there. Because like, even though the tax burden is only 9.52%, you got the iPass there. It's kind of irritating because this iPass charges you like $2, $1.50, or $3, and there's like 4 tollways before you can get into the heart of the city if you're traveling outside the state. I feel like they shouldn't even tax their or charge their citizens there in the state for iPass, because they're already paying taxes to begin with. It's just, I just feel like, personally, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. The minimum wage now, guys, let's talk about minimum wage. Minimum wage in Colorado is $12 an hour, which is quite higher than these two, because in Minnesota, the minimum wage is $8.21, which is really low. In Illinois, it's $10 per hour. So that being said, guys, even though Minnesota has a very low minimum wage, that doesn't mean Minnesotans aren't making as much or as making enough, because the median household income in Minnesota is $71,306, which is higher than the median household income in Illinois, which is $65,886. In Colorado, the median household income is $72,331. So now let's talk about jobs, guys. But I could not find the rate of competition. So what I did is I looked into the unemployment rate of each state. And so that will probably give me an idea of how bad jobs are there. So because of COVID, guys, these rates have went up. But there are states that have already recovered. But these numbers that I'm going to be giving you, mind you, this is because of COVID. These rates, I looked into these rates before, they were way low. But because of COVID, it went up. The unemployment rate in Colorado is 5.6%, which is above the national average. The national average is 4, guys. So once you're beyond that, that's above national average. Like I said, this is high because of COVID. However, in Minnesota, we've already been able to recover, but it's still high. It's 3.8, below the national average. So that means we have lots of jobs here. So it's below the national average, but still low, because last time I looked at it, it was like 2.9, guys, which is way too low. Like, I think people here in Minnesota have jobs and they enjoy working, stuff like that. In Illinois, it's 7.0, which is kind of high, guys, to be honest with you. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of how it's like as far as jobs. So when you're moving to a place, make sure that you have jobs, make sure that it's easy to land a job in a particular place. That's one of my criteria, guys. Quality of life is next. So according to the dictionary, quality of life is the degree of which an individual is healthy, comfortable, and able to participate in or enjoy life events. So obviously you want to be able to make sure that that particular place you're moving into is a happy place for you, you know. Factors that affect quality of life is healthcare, education, economy, infrastructure, opportunity, physical stability, crime and correction, natural events. I have ranked each state, guys. So Colorado ranked number 10 when it comes to quality of life. Minnesota ranks number 3 when it comes to quality of life. So Minnesota has pretty good quality of life here. That means a lot of people enjoy life here. It means a lot of people here are kind of satisfied. And then quality of life in Illinois is ranked as number 35, which is, I would say, pretty poor, guys. Sorry for people in Illinois. That's just what the numbers say. Now we go to healthcare system. So the question is, how accessible is it? How costly is it? You know, and what's the quality? Colorado's ranked number 7. Its index score is 62.75. Minnesota's ranked number 3 again when it comes to healthcare system, accessibility, cost, and quality. And its index score is 66.39. And then Illinois is 57.60 on its index score, and it's ranked number 22. Last but not the least, guys, is leisure. So if this is the only thing that you're looking into a state, guys, then you can disregard everything else that I just talked about earlier, because Colorado is clearly the winner here because it's got all the majestic views that you can ever find in a particular state. Not to say that Minnesota and Illinois doesn't have anything that you can do in there. Minnesota has beautiful smaller mountains. There's also nature and a lot of stuff you can do here if you're a nature lover. In Illinois, it's more like of a developed type of state, so there's more buildings, there's more development in anywhere you go, pretty much. So if you're into that, that would be the state for you. But if you're more drawn into nature, then Colorado's for you. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for watching my vlogs. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you think this video is helpful, please share it to people who you think will benefit from this. And also, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing by hitting the bell button so that I can always immediately notify you if I post new videos. So that's about it, guys. Leave me down a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me also know if you have any ideas of what other videos you want me to make in the future. Alright, I'll see you soon. Peace out.